I was doing research on preschoolers' understanding of the physical world at the time, and I was studying for my qualifying exam and read about some of Piaget's work on object permanence. And I thought it had to be wrong. It just made no sense to me at all. It seemed very likely to me that babies would perform better when you were simply ask them to look at things rather than search for things. So what we do is we show babies two test events, one that we call an impossible or magical event, and one that we call a possible or real event. And the impossible or magical event violates some belief. And our reasoning is always that if infants share our beliefs, they will find the magical or impossible event surprising. When babies are surprised or puzzled or intrigued by an event, they tend to look at it longer. So what I designed then was a different experiment where, for example, if you were an infant, you would see a screen, a solid wooden screen that would rotate upward and then backward. So it would sort of rotate up and down, sort of like a drawbridge. Babies were habituated to that. And then in the test events, we would put a large wooden box behind the screen. And the infants, again, would see two test events, a possible and an impossible event. In the possible event, the screen would rotate upward, hiding the box, and just stop against it and come back down, which is what, as adults, we would expect to happen. In the impossible event, the screen would rotate up and reach the box, but instead of stopping against it, it would go all the way flat, as though the box were no longer there. And then it would come back, and there was the box again, standing intact behind the screen. And so, these events were repeated, and what we found was that 5.5, 4.5, and many 3.5-month-old babies looked reliably longer at the impossible than at the possible event, suggesting that they expected the screen to stop against the box, and they were surprised when it went all the way flat. And what we found using the visual task is that a notion of object permanence seems to be present very, very early on at 3 months of age.